Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, various salutations, and welcome to another session of Living World of Darkness. Camera the venue. In this scene, Lady Sheridan is getting in contact with her various media contacts to try and find out what the latest info is on this croc story and other such areas of interest. How would you like to proceed meeting your contact, Lady Sheridan?
Well, um, I'm going to finagle my way into one of the kind of offices that they run these things off.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably invited. First I'll give a call to a couple of my contacts to see about setting up meetings.
So you're going to call them and ask for a visitor's pass, or are you just going to walk in?
Yeah, I'll ask for a visitor's pass.
Okay, that's cool. Yep, you can yeah, you can pick up a visitor's pass on the desk, the front desk when you go in.
hmm And I'm going to head up and find my way to one of the reporters.
Yep. His name's Ted.
hmm
He's quite a slim, moderately good-looking guy in his early 40s.
Good evening, Ted. How are you today?
And he's tapping away at his computer. And he looks up at you and he goes, "Oh, hi. Just a minute." Tap 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 tap. Tap. And he rolls back his chair and puts his hands behind his head. So, what can I do for you?
Well, I was just wondering if you could put something of a less harsh spin on the people that have been doing all that regrettably public PR stuff.
He raises an eyebrow.
Well, you know all that stuff in the park, attempting to convince people there are werewolves before they're. The university is putting on that all-night horror show marathon thing.
Yeah.
I think it was supposed to boost, interest in the supernatural beforehand, but I think they went a little overboard. But you know how students can be. I don't suppose you could downplay their participation a little.
He purses his lips a little bit. Oh, it's a good story, but this isn't a tabloid newspaper, so he's sort of weighing it up whether it would sell papers or whether just going with the agenda of the newspaper he works for. You can tell he's the sort of guy that would rather sell newspapers and make money. He sort of weighs his head back and forwards. I go, yeah, you're probably right.
I mean, obviously you need to write something about but if you could try and keep the panic to a minimum, I think they've done enough damage.
Something like a monster prank strikes terror into the heart of the public, or well,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously you have to report the news, and it was it was pretty effective, but well, they meant for the best. It's just a good job that I managed to talk them out of too much in the future. Apparently, they've got something planned about crocodiles in the sewers. You know how urban legends are.
This guy that gave me the video didn't seem much like a student.
No. No, I rather get the impression that they scared him.
Alright. It's a lot of work just to scare some poor, fat middle-aged guy who lives with his mom. Have you seen the picture? The stuff? And he reaches down into like he bends down to go into a tray and takes out a DVD, CD, whatever. And
Well, I'd love to see how it turned out.
he puts it in the disk drive of the computer, fiddles with a few buttons, presses play, and what you see is it's very dark, and the camera quality isn't amazing because it was filmed on essentially like a works camera,
Mm.
which basically used for taking like standardized pictures of pipes and things like that. And it's shaky as well, but you can see something moving in the water, a long black shape, and then the camera is sort of dropped as the guy starts to run, and again then you see something strike the black. It's very difficult to make out the shape, but it definitely has a mouth with sharp fangs in it, and it bites him. You can hear him screaming, and the camera sort of rattles and goes dark.
Yes. Quite serious. But you know how over the top people can get sometimes when they are a little bit eccentric and obsessive.
Yeah, the bites are pretty nasty, but if you want to talk to the guy,
Yes, I certainly would. I mean, it's terrible what he's been through just because those idiots thought it would be a good plan.
he fiddles around again on his desk and pulls out a like piece of paper where he scribbled the guy's contact details on, and hands it over to you.
I'll have to make sure his medical bills get dealt with.
You're a nice
It's
lady.
the least I can do, really. But, yes. I rather think that some discipline might be required.
Well,
That is really much too far to go.
yeah, kids these days, eh? Still, the stories keep me in paid employment, so I can't complain too much.
Yes, but as I said, they've done more than enough damage, and panic will only add to it.
Well, there we go. This guy's a bit creepy, so watch yourself.
Thanks. I will certainly be careful.
He nods. I've got a lot of work to do. I'll make sure that the furry story gets a bit more of a cynical spin.
Excellent. Otherwise, I will have to end up dragging them out to confess all, and given how far things have gotten, there may be charges involved. I'd rather not bring names into it, if you get my drift.
Yeah, I gotcha. He's got a look on his face of his eyebrows are raised, and he's got a look on his face of I really don't want to mess with this woman.
Yep,
She might be slightly crazy.
she is slightly crazy.
And he sort of averts his eyes from you and back to his paper. Yeah, I've got a lot of work to do.
Good luck, and I do look forward to seeing what you come up with.
Alright.
And then she will wander off.
Okay.
and go in search of one of her other contacts.
Okay.
She's only got the one dot in contacts, but you know has like minor ones as well.
Which contact? Yes.
Media. No.
Another media contact.
Yep. Yep. She's
Okay.
only got, like I said, the one dot in contacts, but you know how there's like a couple of. There's one major contact, and then there's a couple of other ones.
Is she essentially doing the same thing?
Pretty much.
Yeah. I don't really see you having any problem.
Nope. And if I do
Um,
have any problem, Geminate is the way to go. Then I'm going in search of the guy.
Basically, your contacts will essentially say the same thing to you, and you say the same thing to them, and you've got the evidence and the information. So,
Then I'm going to go in search of this guy.
okay, he um he lives in an apartment in Harlem. It's on the outskirts of Harlem. It's a
Excellent.
pretty run-down area. Pretty nasty. You know, it's not a nice area for high
So,
crime. I mean, so
I am going to see if Amachan is around. No,
okay,
not Amachan. I'm going to see if Bryce is around.
okay.
Because Amachan is the werewolf. Bryce is not a werewolf. And they're both sort of bodyguards. So I'll take one of them along.
If not, then I'm sure one of the
I'm
ghosts.
sure Billy or his mates will be around.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not the sort of area that you want to be going unescorted as such. Some parts of New York aren't particularly nice.
I'll just see if Bryce will respond. He's typing. Ooh, the suspense. And he is not free right now.
Okay.
So it will be one of Ghost's people.
Okay, um you get Billy
Yay, Billy.
and you get actually I'll roll a dice see who you get. Because they're probably gonna send one. Um okay. So you get oh let's fuck it, you get Billy. Alright, okay. Just because everyone loves Billy.
Everyone loves Billy.
You get Billy and another guy who will be sort of not a getaway driver, but he'll drive the car and
Mm-hmm.
be additional support if needed.
Yep. And I will head over to this guy's house.
Okay.
I'll give him a ring first to let him know that I'm coming and ask if he's okay with this.
Yeah, a woman answers the phone. Hello?
Hello. Um, I was hoping to speak to. You never actually told me his name,
His
but
name is Wilbur.
Wilbur. I was hoping to speak to Wilbur.
Wilbur, some lady on the phone for you. The woman sort of hollers in that sort of Big Bang Theory way.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of seconds later, a guy answers the phone. He says, hello?
Hello. I was quite concerned about your injuries following your recent attack.
Are you a reporter?
No, I have several reporter friends, but I'm just concerned. Did you manage to get your injuries treated?
Oh yeah, it's a pretty nasty scars though.
And your medical care, did you have any trouble with that?
Uh, like fired me, so I lost my health insurance. So I'm living back with my mum now.
That is such a shame, and hardly a reward for good service.
Who are you, lady?
Sheridan. Not that I expect the name to mean much.
Well, what exactly can I do for you? Like, you seem to be quite interested in my story.
Well, I wouldn't mind hearing it from you. I've only heard second-hand information after all. But as I said, I'm rather more concerned over what I can do to help you.
I'm sure you can come round.
Splendid.
Um, when when do you want to come round? He sounds quite excited.
Is half an hour okay for you?
Sure, sure. Mom, get stuff ready. Someone's coming round half an hour. He doesn't exactly say goodbye, but you can hear him talking with his mother in the background. She's saying, "What the hell do you think I've got in the kitchen to cook some strangers?" And having a little bit of an argument.
So she's just going to hang up and get her stuff sorted out and head over there.
Okay. It's sort of early night, I imagine. So otherwise you wouldn't be walking around. I casually forgot that. Streets
I'm
quite
guessing
empty.
by the time she's visited various different reporters, it's probably around 8 o'clock in the evening.
Okay.
So late enough that she's probably already eaten, but you know, well, if she was human, she'd probably have already eaten, but not so late that people are going to bed.
Yeah. Well, it's an apartment building. Um, seems to be sort of a largely Italian American area.
Hmm.
Um, quite run down, burned out cars, that sort of thing. It's not the worst area you've seen. Um, there's like this sort of sort of iconic American houses with the stoops on them, with the porches and the long set of steps, that sort of thing.
Hmm.
And a couple of apartment blocks, and this particular one, he lives on the second floor.
And Billy will presumably walk me to the door.
Yeah, he's following you.
Yep. I'll knock on the door.
But he stands out the way a little bit. Because he is 6'7", 6'8", and he'd just be like your body in his chest. It would look quite odd. So he stands out the way a little bit, and after a few minutes, a woman in her 60s, in like a night dress and a dressing gown and um, slippers, and she sort of opens the door and squints at you. Who are you?
Sheridan.
Oh, yeah, you're the lady my son was talking to. And she looks over at her shoulder and sort of she doesn't say anything to you. She just sort of waddles off and gives her son a little bit of a sneer as she walks past. Like, don't be having girls in my house late at night, up to all sorts. And she's muttering. She goes into her bedroom. And the man sat on the couch is he's wearing sort of sweatpants and a shirt, and he's quite overweight and he's balding a little bit. He's got little round glasses, and he looks a little bit sweaty. And he comes up and he sort of um, walks with a little. He stoops over a little bit when he walks. He bends his back. Not so much, not because it looks like he's injured in any way. It's just a particular way a not very self-confident person will walk.
Mm.
If you know what I mean. And he goes, "Oh, you must be Lady Sheridan." And he holds his hand out to you. Come in, come in.
Thank you. Billy, do you mind waiting with the car?
Oh, I'll wait out here, he says, gruffly, and Wilbur's eyes are sort of darted towards the door, and you just see the heaving chest of this giant man. It sort of unnerves him a little bit. And Billy shuts the door.
I have a few overprotective friends.
Uh-huh. So, would you like some coffee, or he indicates to like the table where there's nothing's exactly been set out, but there is like food around, like noodles and I don't know, cakes and stuff like that. Just junk food mostly.
Thank you, but I've just come from dinner.
Right, right. Do you want to come into my room? I can show you some stuff, some pictures. And then he
Okay.
leaves and leans in and goes, "My mom can't hear so well when I'm in my room. She's always listening, you know."
Sheridan will smile and nod.
Um, he walks into his room. It's moderately dirty, but not really dirty. It's like, you know, sort of acceptable level of messy. It's only like a single bed, and then there's a big computer with lots of like this sort of, you know, books. He's kind of a nerdy guy. There's books and games and computer games strewn around, and pictures, World of Warcraft type stuff. And he sits on the bed and waits for you to come in.
And she'll walk in, and presumably there's a computer chair or something.
Yeah, there's a computer chair.
Yeah.
Though, yeah, you probably might not want to sit on that.
Okay.
If you've got any estimation of what guys do at their computer chairs.
That's true. And
There's a little like it looks like there's a chair opposite where he sat on the other side of the room. It's just got some like role playing stacked on it at the moment.
and she will take her time pretending to look around the room at the posters and so forth to see if he takes the opportunity to move the books.
He looks at you and he looks at you for quite a while, excitedly, like a little boy in a candy shop. So obviously men
Well,
don't
she's
know
only going to pause for a few moments to see whether
yeah
he.
yeah, that's what he's doing. Sort of looking at you. It takes him a
Mhm,
while to click on,
mhm.
but as soon as he does, he stands up and he's oh, and sort of scoops the books off the chair. He's always sort of hoping that you'd sit next to him on the bed, but
And thank you. Sheridan will sit down.
so how much do you know? He leans forward.
Well, I've seen the video, but obviously it was somewhat dark down there.
Yeah, it's real dark now. That's why you have to wear one of these. And he taps a helmet next to his bed that has a flashlight on the top. But when I was running, mine fell off.
So what exactly did happen?
Um, every now and again we have to go down and check the pipes. Um, I was making a routine check on this section of pipes in oh god, now I have to think of an American street name. The corner of 8th Avenue. And I was just working, taking a few pictures, taking a few readings, and I heard something. I figured it was probably rats. There's a lot of rats down there. Um, so I just carried on working, and before I knew it, I could feel something brush against my legs. And when I looked down, I shone my flashlight and my camera down on what was moving down there. And I don't know how to describe it to you. It was a monster. He looks visually sort of disturbed at recalling it. Um, I tried to run away, but it was really fast and it bit me quite a lot of times on my legs. And he pulls his leg up onto the bed and rolls his trouser up. And there's um, bites, and they're quite big bites. I mean, if you've ever seen dog bites on somebody, they're about the size of a dog's mouth.
Which clearly doesn't look like a crocodile's mouth.
No.
Looks a lot smaller than a crocodile's bite would have been.
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of in between a medium-sized dog. There's different bite marks. The biggest ones are probably about the size of a dog's head, and then there are smaller ones that are, you know, a lot smaller than that. Bigger than a rat, but um, you know, nothing a crocodile could do. Put it that way.
Hmm. Do you mind if I take a few photos?
Oh, sure, go ahead.
And she'll do so because she knows a couple of people that know a lot more about animals than she does. But she can be pretty sure this is not crocodile bites. And then, so what exactly did you see?
It's it was hard to describe. I mean, it kind of moved like a snake, but it, it didn't really look like a snake. It had feathers and fur at the same time.
I see. Quite worrying.
I mean, maybe like I don't know. Maybe it was some sort of like mutated, radiated like anaconda or something. I don't know. But
Or some experiment designed to look like a Quetzalcoatl.
yeah. Anyway, I tried to tell my boss and I tried to tell the papers and the police, but they all laughed at me and said I was crazy. So
Well, I think that it would be very good if you were, but those bites are a little worrying.
nobody seemed willing to listen to my story. They just, you know, didn't want to hear it. And when I kept on about it, they fired me and sort of forced me out. So I gotta live with my mother again. And he sort of sneers at the doorway.
Well, on that note, what would you like to do as a job?
Well, he thinks about it for a moment. Hmm. I don't know. I kind of just got the job because I had bills to pay. I like games and stuff. I'd like to. He shows you some like goes to his computer and pulls up a program where there's programs you can have where you basically make basic, like very basic video games.
But presumably it is quite basic rather than.
It's pretty basic, yeah. He obviously knows enough from practicing it to sort of have grasped the basics of it, but it's nowhere near sophisticated.
Yeah. Very interesting. And what other skills do you have?
Uh, he points to like how well he's painted his 40k models.
Impressively or just kind of
It's pretty good.
average? Uh,
It's pretty good. He seems to have quite a artistic hand, and there are a couple of like little drawings strung around of like anime girls in various states of undress.
are they pretty good as well?
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Hmm. Well, I do like to support the arts.
Maybe I could draw you sometime. He smiles hopefully.
Perhaps. But how are you at design?
What kind of design?
Well, I'm thinking it might be a nice idea to attempt to rebuild a small park that's on just across in New Jersey. It was looking rather run down when I saw it.
Okay.
And if I look into who owns this park and how to go about organising some renewal to it, do you think you might have designs?
I could try. I haven't really done anything like this before, apart from like maps, to help me mark out where I worked in the sewer. But yeah, I could give it a go.
Well, I will bear you in mind for that, and I'll also see if I can find any other opportunities for you. In the meantime, and she'll take her card out and give it to him.
Yeah.
If you could send your medical bills my way, I'm sure I should be able to help with them at least a little.
He looks quite wide-eyed at you. Uh, thanks. He sort of looks around his room as if he should be giving you something. And that sort of, I'm not really sure what to do with a receipt of such gift, of a receipt of a gift from a stranger way.
Thank you for inviting me into your home. It's been quite an interesting story, and I do hope that you recover fully and promptly. I will see about getting in touch with you again when I have made a few more inquiries.
Sure, sure. He pushes his glasses up his nose and stands up, sort of looking to escort you out if you wanted to be escorted out.
And Sheridan will let him lead the way out.
He opens the door, and Billy stoops in to the room. He has to duck a little bit to get into the door frame, and walks over to the table where there's like a big bag of like corn chips. Picks it up, opens it, shoves his giant hand in the bag, and starts eating them. And as he walks out, getting like cheesy like crumbs in his beard, he just looks at you and goes, "Hungry."
I apologise for Billy.
He just that's okay. He can have whatever he wants. If he was even a little bit more afraid, he'd probably be pushing the food towards Billy in an attempt to keep him away from
But Sheridan will head out towards the car.
him. Door shuts behind you. You get in the car.
And she'll make a mental note to make sure that there is a collection of snacks in the boot so that he doesn't do this again.
Yep, he just sits in the back of the car eating nachos.
And probably making a mess.
Probably making a mess.
So I'll need to make sure that there are snacks that are not messy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, he makes mostly a mess of himself rather than the car.
That's true. But yes. Anyway, there I think the scene will end. Unless you have any.
That's it. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you, players, for playing.